What's up? Welcome in. Today we're going to get into overall fantasy football bust this year. We got Jonathan with us tonight. We're going to talk about some pretty big players here, so stick around to the end and we'll get into it. Jonathan, why don't you go ahead and give us your first bust for this season?
All right. Well, my first one is going to be the one I'm most confident in, and might be a little hot topic, but Stephon Diggs is going to be my first bust. Currently, he's going as the wide receiver 22, 36 overall. New team. I know he just got traded from the Bills to the Texans, but there's 5 Texans going in the first 5 rounds, the first 60 picks. So, for me, I think at best he's probably wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 on that team. And if I'm putting my money on it, I'd rather get Tank Dell. I don't really want Tank Dell either, but he's a lot cheaper than Stephon Diggs is.
Yeah, I like this pick. I'm a huge fan of Nico Collins. He's going high, but I think people are underestimating the fact that they paid him this year. They brought Diggs in, and he's still on a 1-year contract. They haven't extended him at all. So
Yeah, I think they changed his contract to where it would be a 1 year, so they could just cut ties with him at the end of the season.
yep. So no, I like that pick a lot. I think people are overvaluing the fact that Diggs moved over to the Texans with their passing offense the way it is, and I just feel that Nico Collins is going to be the lead receiver on that team this year.
I think they all get their share, but I think Nico's one, like you said, and I don't really want to. He's the only one I'm really confident in each week to start. Like
Yeah.
there's gonna be times where Diggs has the best week, probably Tank Dell has a good week, Nico has the best week, whatever. But I don't want to play the guessing game of which week do I put him in. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if I want any of them, to be honest with you. Like if I can draft somebody else, I'll avoid the Texans wide receiver room.
That's
Just
completely
because,
how I feel.
yeah, because like you said, it's going to be week to week. It's going to be that each of them are going to have boom weeks. Each of them are going to have bust weeks.
Yeah.
But I think Diggs is definitely, in my opinion, could easily be the wide receiver 3 on that team behind Dell and Nico.
Yeah, because I mean he already has a rapport with Nico and Tank Dell.
Yeah.
You know? Another thing I was looking at is where he's going compared to who's right there and where Tank Dell's going. On the flip side of it, if you wanted to get, like if you really believe in the Texans offense, you could get Stephon Diggs and then come back and get CJ Stroud where Tank Dell goes for the stack. That's not something that I really want to do, but it's an option, you know?
Yeah, Stroud's going a little too high for me this year.
I agree.
He's not I'm more of a rushing quarterback guy for fantasy football. Stroud's going to be a great NFL quarterback. I'd love to have him throw for my team any day, but not for fantasy football, not for as high as he's going.
I like Mixon. Like if I was to get a piece from the Texans, it would probably be Mixon.
No, yeah, I totally agree. All right, I'll move into mine. Pretty hot topic this year. I've heard a few people talk about him. Deebo Samuel. Beyond the 2021 season where he blew up and Ayuk was kind of in the doghouse on that team, his numbers really haven't been super impressive. He finished wide receiver 12 last year, really based on 12 touchdowns that he scored. Beyond last year in 2021, Deebo's finished 38th, 97th, and 29th. A lot of it has to do with the fact that he can't stay on the field. He hasn't played a full season since joining the NFL. And with that offense and the amount of weapons they have, you never know what Kyle Shanahan's going to do. He schemes based on the team they're playing. So I just feel that McCaffrey's going to get his. McCaffrey's always going to get his. But if Ayuk's still on that team, Deebo's going to be a bust this year. I just feel there's too much to spread around for Purdy, and I don't think Deebo's going to get enough to finish at that wide receiver 14 ADP and overall 23rd right now. there's no way I would take him there. If he would have missed, I think if he would have had 4 less touchdowns last year, which is probably on average a good number for a wide receiver, 8 touchdowns, he would have finished like wide receiver 18 or 19 just based on those 4 touchdowns going away. I'm not a big fan of Debo. I never have been really. I just feel like his efficiency's been so good that there's no way it can stand. He has to be efficient to be successful, and I don't see him doing it again this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. One of the people I was considering was Ayuk, and I kind of think you could put it for either one of them, honestly. Right now they're going 14 and 15. Wide receiver 14 and 15. I don't think there's any way that they finish 14 and 15. Brandon Ayuk, well, we'll stick to Debo, but the 49ers had one of the lowest passing rates in the NFL last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's going to be a big problem, but they also just got Ricky Pearsall in the draft.
Yeah.
George Kittle lost some weight, so he might be more of a receiver again than just a blocker.
If he can stay healthy, for sure, I think he'll be good. But Pearsall, if Ayuk leaves, I'll grab Pearsall late in the draft.
Yeah, I like him.
I'll throw a dart on Pearsall in the late rounds if Ayuk leaves. But as of right now, it doesn't look like he's going to leave. I think he still has a year left on the contract he's in, and the 49ers can slow play it because he can't sit out all season, because if he does, then that adds another year onto his contract. So he's got to either play or hope that the 49ers are willing to trade him or sign him to a bigger contract.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. At least not with Debo on the team. But I've seen something that the Commanders were going to try to grab him, but they weren't going to. The capital that they were getting back, the 49ers didn't want it.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be hard to trade him right now because they're going to want something high for him. And Ayuk he's going to want too much money, especially with the wide receiver market right now. CeeDee Lamb's still going to be looking for money. Jamar Chase is going to be looking for money. Yeah. So, I mean, CeeDee Lamb's going to be looking for Justin Jefferson money. Yeah. So, and very well could get real close to it, if not over it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So who you got next for us?
This one, I kind of don't want it to be right, just because I like LSU. But I'm gonna say Malik Neighbors. Yeah. The Giants are terrible. Daniel Jones is terrible. Marvin Harrison is going at the 1-2 turn in drafts, and that's like by far the highest a rookie wide receiver has ever gone. But Malik Neighbors is the second highest rookie wide receiver drafted, like in rookie drafts. I'm not saying that Sterling Shepard and Daniel Jones are on the same tier, because they're not. But the highest receiver that Daniel Jones has ever supported was Sterling Shepard, and he had 66 catches, 872 yards, and 4 touchdowns. I'm not really happy about that if I'm getting him as my wide receiver 2, because he's going 42nd overall, and that's around the range of like Rashad White, Zay Flowers, James Cook, T. Higgins, Trey McBride, those kind of guys. And he's a rookie. Usually they take a little bit to warm up, and I don't like them. I don't like their offense. They just lost Saquon Barkley. Devin Singletary and Tracy are their running backs. Darren Waller just retired. They got some random guys, just Jags, like Wan'Dale Robinson, all kind of random guys. On the flip side of it too, he's going to be the number 1 target.
Yeah, and that's like, I agree with you. I don't like Neighbors this year on that offense. I think that there's so much opportunity for him.
Yeah.
Just because of who they have for Daniel Jones to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
Jalen Hyatt, we'll see if he can step up in year 2.
Yeah.
But I just there's going to be a lot of opportunity for Neighbors. It's just all going to depend on Daniel Jones, and we've all seen where that's gone in the past few years.
Yeah, that's not something I really want to bank on.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I like Malik Neighbors a lot, like I said, but if I'm drafting him, I don't want him to be my 2. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, absolutely not in redraft. I'll take shots on Neighbors and Dynasty all day because eventually the Giants are going to get QBs.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be drafting top 10, if not top 5 next year.
Oh, I would say top 5 easily. Yeah. Their team's pretty bad this year.
And that's another thing too, is if their team's trash, they're not going to get a lot of touchdowns. He is a big dude, so he'll be a red zone weapon. But
yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah,
I can easily be wrong, and I hope I am wrong because I do like him.
Yeah, but I like Marvin Harrison this year. I think he can easily finish in that wide receiver 1 range, top 10.
Yeah, that's what he's going.
Yeah, but Neighbors, I'm not touching him this year. I just that team's a mess.
Yeah. So it's a hard avoid for me. All the Giants.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in the same boat. I might take Devin Singletary's going late enough. I might take like a shot on him.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know where he's going, but like,
yeah, he's worth a shot. It's almost a free pick, I think, at this point. Yeah. I mean, he's going. Let's see, he's going off the board. Where is he going off the board? He's going off the board at running back 32, 100th overall. Wow. So, yeah, it's at that point, I might take a shot on him. It depends. There's probably more people around that pick that I like better.
Yeah.
All right, so my next pick, some people aren't going to like this. He was hot last year. I think I had him on one of my teams. He carried a lot of people through championships last year. But I'm going with Kyren Williams. It was hard for me to type this up, but they brought in Blake Corum. And I think why they brought in Blake Corum is because he is a little bit of a bigger body back than Kyren Williams. So you're going to be looking maybe at like the harder runs, like the short yardage and maybe the goal line carries. So we don't know what. Obviously, Kyren Williams is going to carry more of that split than Blake Corum. But if I'd rather take a shot on Blake Corum in the end, mainly because of the injury concerns of Kyren Williams. I mean, since he's entered the league, he's had a foot fracture in 2022, high ankle sprain in 2022 and 2023, a hand fracture in the playoffs this past year, and he had a hip strain in 2023 as well. They didn't miss time for that, but it just shows you that his durability is not great, which could be what the reason the Rams are bringing in Blake Corum, because they realize that he's not capable of carrying that huge load. So you could be seeing Blake Corum taking those harder runs, like I said, those short yardage and the goal lines where they're going to get beat up in the middle. So my fear is Kyren Williams losing out on some of those touchdowns. I just don't see him living up to RB7, going off the board at 20th overall. Amazing talent. He played out of his mind last year. But Cooper Kupp's going to be coming back healthy. He wasn't healthy last year. So I think the passing game will pick up a little bit this year as well. You still have Puka. I don't think there's a road where Kyren Williams can really live up to that RB7 this year. I feel like he's not going to be able to play a full season, to be honest with you. So that's where I'm at with him.
Yeah, I think he's going to be anywhere from like 65 to 80% usage rate.
Oh yeah, for sure. I could see that split.
Because usually in Sean McVay's system, he always does like a 1 RB. But they did get Blake Corum in the 3rd round, so obviously they have some type of interest there. I don't want to put too much emphasis on that though, because I don't remember where Tank Bigsby went last year, but people were kind of fading Etienne because of Bigsby. Like, he had so much hype before the season started, and he was terrible.
Yeah, I went and watched. So I was in Alabama 2 years ago, and I went and watched Auburn play and watched Tank Bigsby. I was not impressed.
Yeah.
That dude is super overrated. Yeah, I don't see him messing with ETN at all.
Yeah, I do like Corum though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get off topic, but I did have Kyron in Dynasty. I picked him off waivers, so that was good. I ended up trading him, but
That was
anyway,
gold.
Yeah. I think if he's going, where is he going right now?
He's going off the board at
turn?
RB. No, he's going at the 1-2 turn.
Oh shit. Okay.
Maybe mid second round, probably.
Mid second. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Achane like right next to each other, I think.
Yep.
And I think I'd rather potentially get ETN over him.
Yeah, I'll take ETN after him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yep.
And the Rams' offense is really good, though.
Yeah, that high-powered offense, they're gonna do well. I think he should easily finish within the high-range RB2. I think.
Yeah.
I don't see his body holding up to be able to live up to that same thing he did last year.
Yeah.
Like I said, he had that hand fracture in the playoffs. He had surgery on it. He's had injuries every year, like two high ankle sprains, which those are like RB killers because they're not making cuts on those. The foot fracture is first year in OTAs. He's got a foot issue now, which is kind of worrisome. Sean McVay says it's nothing, but coaches always say it's nothing.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see training camp starts here in the next week or so, how that plays out and how much usage we see in training camp with him.
I do think it's important to see that they did add some linemen though, and free agency and the draft and all. So obviously the point of emphasis there is to improve the O-line.
Yep.
But I think if you get 80% of Kyron Williams from last year, you're not going to be happy from where you're drafting him.
No, not at RB7. No. Yeah. So, all right, who you got for us with your last bust?
Well, I'm kind of torn between two people, but I'm gonna go with Josh Jacobs. I don't like his price tag at being a RB1. I think he'll finish mid RB2 or late RB2. He could finish as RB1. He went to the Packers. They have a lot better offense than the Raiders do. But after his crazy season in Oakland last year, or 2 years ago, his big year. Last year he was not good. His efficiency went down a lot. And the Packers just got Marshawn Lloyd in the third round too, like Kyron for the Rams. I'm not really super big on him. He has essentially no pass catching upside, and I normally play in full PPR, but in half point PPR, it's even less of a want for him. For me,
yeah, I'll be interested to see what he does in that offense this year because he being with the Raiders, he hasn't really had a quarterback. They had Derek Carr, but Derek Carr's still not great. Yeah. Jordan Love is looking like he could be another elite quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. That team just that team just produces quarterbacks. It's unreal. And they have enough receivers that they can't stack the box against them. So I'll be interested to see how that plays out. The split between him and Marshawn Lloyd. I don't think A.J. Dillon's going to be much of a factor anymore.
No, he's essentially gone.
Yeah, so I'll be interested to see how it plays out. I may take a flyer on him on one or two of my drafts because I do quite a few drafts.
Yeah.
Just to see. I like to mix things up a little bit, so I have a little bit of everything.
Cover a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But, for the main part of it, like I wrote it down. He's going a little bit before Rachaad White or James Cook or Kenneth Walker III, And
Yep.
you can pick whoever you want between those guys, but I for sure want White or Cook more. And
I'd probably take White. I'd probably take Jacobs before Cook or Walker. But I mean, I can see why people would take Cook with that offense the way it is this year.
well, the way that he was performing towards the end of the year last year, whenever they had the change in scheme, like the offensive coordinator change,
Mm-hmm.
he was starting to he was a dog last year.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's going to do that for the whole year, but if it is like that, especially with Stephon Diggs leaving, he might.
Yeah, for sure.
He could be RB1 to me. I like where he's going.
Yeah. I'll move into my third guy here. This is going to ruffle a lot of people's feathers. There's so many people excited about this dude. Devon Achane, or Achane, however people want to say it. It's going off the board at RB8, overall 21. He only played 11 games last year, but he was stupid efficient. 7.8 yards a carry. He's not going to do that again. He's not going to be 7.8 yards a carry unless he only has 100 carries like he did last year. And again, he only played 11 games. So can his body hold up? He's only 5'9", 5'8 and a half, 187 pounds. I don't see him being able to get the volume he's going to need to put an RB8 price tag on him. People are just giving up on Mostert. I will take Mostert all day where he's going.
Oh yeah.
They just paid him
2 years, 32, I think. Huh?
2 years, a $9 million contract, up to $9 million. But that's pretty big money for a 31-year-old running back. So that shows you they're not gonna bury him on the depth chart and just sit him on the bench. He's gonna be out there. And I think a lot of people are overseeing that because the excitement and the hype of what Achane can do. He's gonna win people weeks. I won't go against that. But how many and how do you choose the right week? Because there's going to be some weeks you put him in your lineup and he's not going to do anything. You're not going to get anything for him.
Yep.
You have Hill, Waddle, OBJ's there now. He's not going to do much, but he's there. They got Malik Washington. They brought in another running back. I can't remember the guy's name.
Jalen Wright.
Yeah, Jalen Wright. So they have so many weapons, and there's a reason for that. It's to keep their guys healthy. And that's what they're going to do with Achane. He's going to get some carries, but it's just not going to be enough to warrant a RB8. It's just not. So I can't bring myself to pull the trigger on him in the mid-second round. I can't do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Mostert is going to finish as RB2 again. I don't think it's possible.
There's not 21 touchdowns there again.
No, I don't think so either. But for where he's going like 88th overall. I think I don't know what running back that is, but like it's like running back 28 or something. Something like that.
He's going off the board at running back 27.
Yeah. So I'll take that. Because I don't know.
Sure.
I'd rather whoever the wide receiver would be right there instead of Achane, like Puka or whoever's right there, plus Mostert over Achane and whoever the other player you would pick instead of Mostert would be.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think they're all going to get hurt at one point.
Oh yeah, I meant Mostert's injury prone too. I meant him, but I just don't. His size, he can't hold up to a full workload. So even if Mostert gets hurt, they're going to bring in Jalen Wright. So I don't see even Mostert being hurt helping Achane a whole lot.
I think in the last pick of my drafts, if he's there, I don't know where his ADP is going to be towards the end of before the season starts, but take some flyers on Jalen Wright.
No, I can see that for sure. I think I grabbed him in a couple of my dynasties this year. He's going off the board at running back. He's still going pretty high for being a third running back on his team. He's running back 47 right now.
I think he starts the game because between Achane and Mostert, they're both going to get hurt probably.
Very well could. I'd probably take a flyer on Vidal before Wright, but that's just me.
Yeah.
For the Chargers.
Sam Laporta, he was the other guy I was going to consider. He's going at 24th overall, tight end 1, and I think he has to pretty much finish there for him to return value. For me, I don't really like getting the onesie positions that high.
Nope.
You can get Dalton Kincaid, Mark Andrews, Trey McBride, all in like the 4th, 5th round, or like the 4th, 5th turn. You can get Kyle Pitts in the 6th. I like him a lot with Kirk Cousins coming.
Yeah.
He had 1,000 yards as a rookie with Matt Ryan. So,
yep. I can tell you that Laporta, it's a bold pick. It's a bold pick to pick Laporta to be a bust. However, I understand why, because he is going so high and he is going as the tight end 1. I want one of those top 5 tight ends.
Yeah.
I don't care if it goes like I won't take Laporta because that is too high for me on a onesie position. So I can definitely see why you would call him a possible bust, because there are some good options in that 4th and that 5th round.
It's more of a fade than a bust.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have Drake London or Olave or somebody and McBride
Absolutely.
or one of those tight ends over Sam Laporta and somebody like George Pickens or whatever wide receiver is there, or a running back.
Yep. I like Pickens, but I'm not willing to take Laporta to. Yeah, it's not. He's way too high for a onesie position for me. Yeah. But I mean, you have people do it every year. 1st round for quarterbacks, 1st round for tight ends.
And there was only a 1 point per game difference between those guys too.
Yeah. They said last year was like the roughest year for tight ends, like separation wise.
Yeah.
On average between the top 3 and like the. Thanks everyone for tuning into our bust episode today. Hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment on this video. Let us know how you liked it. Have a good day.